going nowhere.
Or maybe you will.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see what happens because there is a delay on my camera, but Gooze is straight.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
no
I guess I'm just the problem.
You are the problem.
Well, you know, that's
years.
what I do.
I've been telling you. But I guess we'll be looking cool here, and you'll be looking weird like a kung fu movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hoy!
You don't have to do
the
it.
dangerous. I don't even have to do that.
You were already doing it automatically. I had to do it. My master has destroyed me.
Huh. Well, I'm just going to teleport over here.
I must find new comics.
Yeah. So, so everyone, how you doing? This is Med. That is Gooze. Basically, we're just back for the second time in over a month. This is long overdue. Life happens. Unfortunately, we're going to try to get a little bit better about releasing more continuous shizd knit.
And it's probably working better on our tech here. Because, you know, we're old.
Yeah,
we're using 56K dial-up modems over here.
I prefer the term vintage.
Vintage. I love it.
I'm a classic. I'm born from the 1900s.
Right. We just hook a bunch of wires together.
That's right.
Jam them in the computer.
When we talk, we use smoke signals. But we're actually going to be talking a little bit about some of the stuff that's been going on in our lives. Yesterday, I was able to partake in National Comic Book Day.
That's awesome. And
we're going to discuss a couple of our favorite storylines that we have read in the back in the past and everything like that. And also, we're going to be talking about Sidekick, the indie comic.
Yeah, we can. I actually read that. Got a couple things to it. I thought it was a really good book. You know, for a first time kind of a issue there. It's an indie comic, of course. Sidekick is what it's called. Who wrote it? Do you know the guy's name?
The guy is named Christian, and I'm blanking on his last name, but it is from Cool Ranch Comics, coming out of Atlanta.
Yeah, cool.
A really good, cool dude. Just check him out. You can find him on Twitter or X. Instagram and all the other ones. He also has a couple of GoFundMe's that he has out there and Kickstarters. So
okay, cool. Let's talk about that later on. First off, starting off is I know you got a new job. You're no longer working near me no more, but we're still close enough to hit all the comic book stores.
Yes.
How's it going?
It's going so far so good. Literally, unfortunately, it's been kicking my ass a little bit, but you know, other than that, not too bad. I'm learning a lot of stuff right now. Our busy and one day we make what we made when me and you were working together in a week.
Yeah, I got you.
And
it's a bigger store.
It is
a bigger building.
I
got you. You know, life goes on, like you said. We had planned so many times to do a show, I don't know, once, twice a week. You know, we were going, let's do at least once a week, and then we have kids and other like job, like you said.
Well, you have kids.
I have kids, yeah. So it's just been tough, man. Like kids right now for me, they're all playing the sports. So it's like, this one's playing a sport tomorrow. The next one plays a sport. So Sundays today, like I said, we just had the free comics go by. Believe it or not, I mean, I've been collecting comics for 30 something years, and I had never knew that existed.
Yeah, same here.
That's weird. I mean, you would think I'd go to the comic enough, I would see it happening one day.
And I stumbled into it.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's like, oh, well, I'm doing this now.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter for me, free or not. I'm going to pop in there and I'm buying some comics. That's the way it works, So it's going to be cool about the kids that let them grab some comics that can beat the crap out of it and stuff like that. So they can kind of like read it and kind of interested. My son, he's getting more into comics. I've been giving him some of my older stuff that was, the more novels, and he just tears right through it, man. And I can see like that. Oh, that's
starting
really
to get
cool.
that itch.
Yeah. And to be honest, lately, I feel like, me, I was always more the Marvel guy. You were always more the DC guy. And I feel like DC's just been crushing it, dude. The stories.
And, to be honest, I was also a Marvel guy for a while. And then I started going into DC. And one of the first ones that I picked up was Blackest Night, graphic novel. And I ended up handing it over to Gooze so he can read it as well.
Yeah,
and this absolute timeline, dude, it is just straight turning heads right now. Yes. And in all reality, to be honest, for a while there, my comic book reading was waning a little bit because most of the stories that we've been actually reading and everything was stuff that was written in the early 2000s, whether it's Old Man Logan, which was a little more in the 2010s, but the Books of Doom, I'm trying to find that one now, Infinity Gauntlet, all these classics that we actually just got into, and we're going to be talking a little bit about some of our favorite ones. But Absolute honestly has gotten me back into that interest.
Right.
And, it really and truthfully, DC Knockouts, the little timeline that they have, which is one of the things I can talk about because I'm waiting for the 6th and final issue of that story arc.
Right.
That's been a really interesting one. It definitely has brought me back. Yeah. And, now I'm actually going out there hunting for stuff again, and it rejuvenated me.
Right. I agree with that 100%. I know Marvel kind of did it. They did the, what was it called? The universe, the one where the evil Fantastic Four. Dude, my brain is fried. I'm not feeling great today. But they did they just did the final
Dark Universe.
No, not the Dark Universe. I'm brain dead right now. It was the one they just had the Wolverine, the new Wolverine. That was it was again. We're going to slide by. I was hoping you'd save me on this.
Well, right now, your blank is giving me a blank.
No problem. I'll go whip out the book if I need to. I'll
go grab it real quick.
Show up when it was. Anyways, going back to it, they tried to do that. They were doing the new Wolverine, the new Black Panther, the whole universe, and that was kind of looking pretty cool. There was some stuff there was kind of still. Nothing really special to me.
Is it the new one that's out right now?
Yeah.
The Ultimates.
Ultimate. Thank you. Damn.
You're welcome. I got you.
30 more minutes of the show. Me thinking about what the hell it's called. And I've read so many of those things. It works. I'm not feeling the best today, but yeah, the Ultimates were awesome. Again, I was like, okay, that's not bad. I bought a couple of them. I was reading them up, and I was like, all right, there's some pretty neat stuff in it, but not like Absolute did. Absolute came in, and it is totally changed up to me. I mean, yes, the characters are still a Bane, but they're not the same, man. The Joker is not the same.
Yeah.
That Joker, the old-timey Joker, was just kind of crazy and just, nutty, just always on Batman's back because they think they're brothers or whatever the hell it is, and they're adventure. But that Bane and that especially that Joker, this new one, he's just vicious, pure evil, man. You're reading it oh man, he doesn't care about nothing. Kids, nothing. He's just killing them all, hunting them, whatever he wants to do, so. That's been cool. I saw the new number 19 is coming out with the
Scarecrow.
I already ordered that up. That's another thing. So this Absolute's been great. Getting your hands on some Absolute has been absolutely impossible. So that's what it's called, Absolute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But I did. It's a love-hate when it comes to the guys that are scalping these things, and because I don't have to always walk out to a comic book store anymore. I can order it online.
Yeah.
And get my issue, and I'll want to do it, but it kind of lost that adventure of going to the comic store and just finding that diamond. You're going through them and looking through I just found one. Yeah, so that's the only sad part, And on top of that, we see a lot of guys now taking them as soon as they start going up in price at the comic store, literally snatching them off the shelf.
We actually did watch this happening while we were looking around at comic books one day. The owner was sitting there and he was snapping each one, and then you would see him with a price gun, and it was like, dude, you're kind of ruining the hunt for a normal comic book place. Now, we live near the Savannah, Georgia area, and there are plenty of comic book stores around in our area. There's been a couple that we have ventured out to, one of which Gooze went up to Florence and saw one up there, so we will be planning a trip up there. That'll be one of our crusades,
right?
CREW. See what we did there,
right?
But I've been down to Jacksonville and saw a few things down there that we are definitely going to have to check out as well. But for the most part, we have our own little skin digs around in this area, and one of them I actually have to give a quick shout out to, and that is Nerdheim. And I actually got to talk to him and also show some of the free comics that I was able to actually get yesterday. And this kind of made the hunt feel fun again, because I went to 4 different comic book stores.
Right.
And this guy, he basically told me that, most comic book stores, they will buy your old comic books, but he is strictly just new ones. So he's not going to be one of those guys that are taking pictures of the comic books and then raising the price while you're sitting there looking at other comic books.
Right.
So, and I was able to actually procure a Battle Beast #1 second run from this store. So He even told me, he was like, dude, you're so lucky. He put it out on the shelf himself instead of actually keeping it in a bag, probably, you know, just selling it online or whatnot. That is what a comic book store is supposed to do.
Right. No, absolutely, man. It brings back that fun, you know, part. I'm going to name drop a couple because when I was in Florence, you know, Galactic Comics, that place is humongous.
One of the largest.
The guy was super nice, man. He walked in, he shook my hand, told me his name, which I dropped the name already. I'm horrible at names, but the guy's just like he treated me like I've been there a million times, and that was my first time ever being. You're going to that store. He's got life-size Hulks and Transformers in that building. He's got a section that's nothing but Star Wars. I mean, it was huge, big as my bedroom. You know, like
that's awesome.
It was really cool, and like I said, they had new, old. I was able to find a Warhammer out of that place. That was
nice.
And what's funny was there wasn't no Warhammer. I was going through Warheads, and Warhammer was in there. There was only one. The rest were all Warheads. I was like, oh,
like the Warhammer comic.
The Warhammer comic.
Oh, dude,
40K comic. Yeah,
yeah. I was going to say that's extremely rare.
So I was super stoked about getting that because, you know, I've been getting heavy into some Warhammer. This year has been my Warhammer year. I spent too much money.
He's not lying.
Too much money.
He is not lying.
I'll have some skits for you later on because that's that ridiculous. But yeah, Galactic Comics, good dude, good people, really cool comic selection. Some number one, you know, I think it was like what was it? Punisher was in there. He had number one Punisher. He had a bunch of other stuff in there. But the other one I went to, besides those guys that were super friendly guys, a couple old guys. Were Legends Comics. I went in there, and these guys were sitting there. They were like in their probably their 60s, 50s, late 50s, early 60s, probably. And they were talking to me. And they're like, they bought this place that's been there for a long time. I think they moved it over like a couple rows. But the guy was talking about buying comics when he was 10 years old. So I was like,
that's awesome.
And he's now a comic book dealer himself. And he was talking to me about the past and stuff like that. But again, super friendly. They're from up north. They were talking about all the best Comic-Cons to go to that we're going to have to like go take a look at.
Yeah,
like that.
Definitely.
But it was really cool. My son picked up a My Hero Academia. I always forget the guy's name. He's got the hand on his face. He's an enemy. I don't really watch as much as my son does. But it was like $40. And he's like, oh, Dad, I got to get this. And my son's only 10 years old. So he sees my son. He's like, oh, you like that? And he's like, yeah, man, this is really cool. I like it. He goes, I'll tell you, today I'll get you for 30. So I knocks $10 off it just
That's
because
awesome.
He liked seeing my son, who was basically the same age as he was.
The enthusiasm.
Yeah, the excitement. This kid just buying it just to sell it. And he knocked off some money there just to be friendly. And of course, I came out with another like 4 or 5. But he had in that store $4,000 for a first appearance of Wolverine. He had in there.
That's crazy.
I looked at it, I was like, oh, bro.
And I got like my wife actually bought me a metal plate of that very issue.
Right.
And there was one comic book I saw just recently where they actually did that issues. This of course has Wendigo in the back, and he's fighting Hulk.
Yep.
They redid that. I can't remember exactly what the characters were, but it was in the same exact posing and everything, and it was really cool. I saw it the other day, and I was like, dude, that's pretty badass right there.
Right.
But another one that I went to Nerdheim, also Neighborhood Comics. I did not go in there because I told Gooze it was raining in Savannah yesterday, and they had a line, and it makes it kind of exciting because I felt like in some ways with where the Marvel universe, as far as the MCU, like Marvel cinema universe is, kind of like put a little damper on some of the comic books, enthusiasm and stuff like that, because it's been so lackluster with their storylines. And to actually go out there and see a line that is 2 blocks down from the entrance, and knowing that comic book store is full was truly like,
that's cool.
Damn, yeah. So
still there. Believe it or not, I feel like the popularity is kind of coming back, man. I thought it was dying off. I remember watching a lot of videos on YouTube and stuff where guys were like, oh, the collectors are dying, blah, blah. I don't know if it's because of the Marvel shows, maybe like Disney shows.
Oh, they definitely oversaturated it.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's pumped enough in there that kind of got a new spark going and that people are seeing stuff like that new Dork comic. Dork. Never heard of it. Kirkman's over that. Kirkman.
It's all right.
Yeah, I think did Robert Kirkman make that comic? I think it was.
I believe so.
Yeah, he made it, and it looks so good, dude. And I saw it, I was like, if I just saw that coming down the pike, I would have got it. But I can't get it. Number one first print issue for under $100, and it just came out like a month ago.
And we got some of the books, the graphic novels coming. You were able to get number 2 and number 3 coming your way.
Yeah, I got number 1, the second edition coming, and I got 2 and 3, the first editions. And I picked some of the variants because one of the variants is too funny, man. It's got a lot of references to Invincible. One of them, I was like, he's got the head.
Well, I was going to say it's Image Comics too, ain't it?
I think it is.
Yeah. I was going to say, which is all in the same universe.
So Image was talking about the increase in their sales overall. I mean, Dork was a big one for them, but they're saying like because of Absolute, it like spiked theirs like a huge amount.
Definitely.
So people are coming in getting the Absolutes and they're like, hey, what's this? This looks kind of interesting. Battle Beast, obviously, we talked about that. Those covers are just absolutely,
dude, it's sick. I'm gonna have to bring that over and show it to you.
Yeah, so those look really cool, but that kind of sparked it for these other guys to kind of make some money. And I feel like I keep saying over and over, Marvel's kind of getting left in the dust. But you know what usually happens though when this happens is they're working hard trying to find something to compete now. They're going to use probably the ideas of something like a Absolute,
and that's I think the way that it's actually going. You look at manga. Yeah. And how it's more geared more for more mature audiences and stuff like that. Like I read Berserk, shit's brutal. Yeah. And I was saying, and we'll talk about that one day as well. But you look at what they have out there right now. Their big event, of course, right now at this moment is the Shadow of Tomorrow. And you look at what a lot of your critics, a lot of people that read comic books on a regular basis, and they're like saying that this is a rehashed storyline.
It is.
And, that's kind of frustrating because you're like sitting there, you're like, what are you going to do with that? Yeah. Is it the day after tomorrow, I guess is what they're talking about?
The day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a prequel. I think I said it. Prequels. They're just trying to. It did really well when it came out.
Yeah.
Not like maybe amazing, but it did well. And then they're kind of like, well, let's just make it again and reboot it like a movie, And like you said, it's gonna get old after a bit. But it's starting off okay. Like I've enjoyed the ones I have read, but not like Absolute. But to be honest with you, even on Absolute, whatever, we're all over some DC Absolute.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, I wasn't really like hopping on it completely. I was reading, I was like, that's cool. Batman's got these new stuff. He's a big dude. He's way more vicious. I was like, that's cool. But Dark Horse kind of did that. Dark Horse Comics already had the vicious
with like Spawn and
exactly. That. And then it got to the Bane part of it. When it got to the Bane part, that's what it was like. And then, like I said, rolled into the other characters. You're also seeing like the Riddler. He's not like the Riddler was before. He's like, he just looks different. And I don't know. Like there's a lot of cool little changes that are making it awesome. I think you said something about Green Arrow, didn't you?
Yeah,
absolutely. What would you find out about that?
Well, I mean, I read into it a little bit, and basically what happened, and let's just go ahead and get it over with while we're talking about
ultrasonic nerdgasm.
It's just one of those things, like you're kind of chubbing a little bit. But Oliver Green, who is the actual Green Arrow, is killed off in this universe.
Okay.
And so there's another guy that's running around with basically his getup, his attire, and is killing people with green arrows. And his wife, his widow, Black Canary, is going around trying to find them. And I think the reason why we find this so interesting, and this is just being 100% honest, is that these comic book heroes have flaws. And Bruce Wayne, he's not a white collar billionaire. He is a working man, blue collar guy who works a construction job. Superman, I think he has issues with anxiety. Yeah, like he can't go out and it is completely opposite from what you're used to reading. And I think that's why we're enjoying it so much.
More realistic. I like it, and I like that too. Yeah, for sure. But I'm gonna have to trash it just a tad, or I'm gonna bring Absolute down just a notch because that was like a Dark Palettes. I think it was the one from Batman. That story patterns. Thank you. Dark Palettes. Jesus.
Dark palettes. Yeah, we're talking about wood.
All this construction talk had me thinking about pallets and carrying it into the job site. Dark palettes.
Yeah.
That one was, dude. Now I know that when I'm not feeling well, I am fully ridiculously stupid. But that is that was a better storyline. To be honest, man, that was nonstop. It was old school Detective Comics style. It's a Batman without all the crazy gadgets and stuff. But there's like serial killers in there. There's like Torment. That's actually one of the guys' names in it, remember, right?
Not to be confused with the Torment that is now in Web of Venom
for Marvel.
Yeah.
No, it was basically 4 or 5 issues I read, and every time everything was like a new story, and there was always like some true crime kind of stuff going on, and those stories were just so good, man. I just that was one of the ones where you're like laying in bed and you're reading, you're like, I'm gonna read this real quick and go to sleep, and I read that whole damn thing. I didn't put that down until the end, and then I'm looking at the clock going, it's 1 a.m. Son of a bitch. I get up tomorrow for work. But that to me, that was a better story, just like all out. Like it was just nonstop awesome. Like Ass was getting there. Like I said, when we got to Bane, and the whole Bane story arc was probably my favorite so far. That was really good, but you can't go wrong with that other one. So
no, you can. And I mean, speaking of the Marvel one, the Web of Venom and everything like that, they already came out with one named Torment who looks pretty badass. I kind of like the design, all white with a circular design. And one I think that is actually more badass, and I wish I could actually pull it up right now to show you what he looks like, is Passenger. Horrible name, but it's he's a really cool looking character. He is basically, you take Venom and you put Spider-Man's classic uniform on him, and instead of white spider on it, it's black. And I mean, the dude looks completely badass. He is really the criminal known as Boomerang. He got resurrected in this storyline.
Okay.
And he actually does like one of the poses where, the famous Wolverine pose where he has his claws out like this and he's like, come and get me.
Yeah.
He does that pose in the comic book.
Okay.
So they it's kind of like a play homage to another badass in the universe.
Right.
So I was like sitting there and I was like, man, this is so cool, But I just want Marvel to actually get their head out of their ass. And it's time for y'all to like really work on y'all stuff.
Yeah, I agree. It's getting a little bit stale. And I saw something on online the other day. I was reading. I guess DC's got a little thing going on where they're looking for someone to help make a new Batman villain.
Really?
Yeah, like they have a little thing out there you can apply to
the Thinker.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it here. Let's see. I know also real quick. There's just kind of bouncing here. I know this is the month of the old Star Wars. And I do believe the end of this month, the new Mandalorian is coming out.
Oh, dude.
Yep. So then I'm kind of excited about that. I'm not going to miss it. This is me. I don't miss the Star Wars. Even if it sucks, I'm there. This is what I do. So I'll take a look at that, see how that's going to come through.
Here.
Yeah. Did you find it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just popped out of the blue. I was just reading along. And it was like, apply here. I think you have to be like 13 or older to apply. And then you can, if you win, it's just a random like raffle. I don't really know if you can like create the character or just more like work with them on how they're creating.
But that would be kind of cool though.
It's supposed to be in all kinds of stuff too. It's going to be a new comic book run with a new character that you helped make. It's going to be in the Lego game coming out, that same character. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out with that character that you're helping them create. So they're going to be like talking to you, design, what do you think about this, and that kind of stuff is the way it reads like. I mean, they just need to call me. I got some characters already in my head from when I grew up when I was a kid. I can't wait to put on a book one day. But who do I need to talk to make this happen?
The Vicious Rainbow.
The old Vicious Rainbow. Yeah, it was a good one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just bringing up all these memories.
Ultrasonic nerdgasm.
But anyways, did you ever think of a character when you were a kid? Did you make one up? Like, hey, this is powers, what it looks like.
I always pretended I was the character.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'd sit there, like, it's like one of those things where they always ask you, like, what would be your superpower?
Invisible.
In
girls' locker room.
Exactly. Why not? That's when I was like 13. No, I think with me it was mainly like I would want to fly or be like impervious to damage.
Right.
Something where strength. I already got that.
Oh my God.
I mean, I lift heavy shit all the time. So I mean, but
heavy shit.
Yeah, I do that too. In fact, that would be my superpower.
Yeah,
I'd be the colossal crapper or something like that.
The asshole of Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at the screen, this is actually a passenger right here. This is a picture I found of him. And like I said, he's pretty badass looking if you want to try to zoom in on that. But no, I literally go find me a print. Oh, by the way, those prints, I finally put those in a picture.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I got one more left. So I met Cabby at one of the expos that I just recently went to a couple months ago.
Gotcha.
And he has been known to draw like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which if you know me, you know I'm a big fan of them. And he did Venom, and he did a few others, and he actually autographed every single one of my prints that I bought from him. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing is he actually gave me one without me knowing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it was like kind of like he slid one in or something like that. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but still, thank you. Thank you, Cabby.
Yeah, it's coming back to you. That's gonna be
I was going to say, they're going to be like, yeah.
Yeah. That scam you see in like Italy where they hand you that bracelet and then you like try to give it back and they're like, nope, they have to make you pay for it to the police will come get you.
Yeah, but and it was actually the Venom one. Like, and
cool.
Which is one of my favorites, if not the favorite one I have. And I would say Hulk would be a close, at least if it was one or the other. So
that was always an X-Men guy. My favorite was always Wolverine. I just like that temper.
I'm gonna stab you, and then I'm gonna stab you some more.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, what'd you say?
Look here, bub.
Yeah, look here, bub. Yeah, you dropped my toast.
Need me to butter your toast?
I don't know. I just like the way he was, and he was just so brutal. Wolverine just doesn't give a shit. If he's nice, it's because he wants to be nice. If he's not, so he doesn't want to be nice.
And usually he's not nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's one of his quotes. What he does is not things that ain't so nice. Right. Well, I have that superpower, unfortunately.
Not me, I'm clogged up.
Dude, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Dude, someone crack ass the other day at work, and I walked through that, and it hit me like a fucking bat. I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. So,
oh my God, that's funny.
Especially when a former coworker of mine would take a serious deuce at least 3 times a day.
About 45 minutes?
For about 45 minutes.
Yep. I knocked on the door. I was like, get the hell out of there, dude. What can you possibly be doing? I was like,
no. Oh, you know what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Volume down.
Volume down. Yep.
Fortnite on the phone.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. No, but I mean, like I said, we gotta get some new stuff kind of flowing here. Hopefully we get some new books. I mean, next thing we can talk about if you want to is just some issues that we enjoy.
We'll slide into that right now. In fact,
I like that.
Well, that's a good segue into it, Goose. Good job. Good job.
That's that power.
Oh, you know what? Even old raccoon has to say something.
Yeah.
So,
oh man,
I'm gonna have to get more clips.
Yeah, we're gonna have the same ones over and over. There's only so many rockets and orgasms you can do with He-Man. All right, so real quick, name a comic book that you enjoyed in the past that like hit your mind instantly. Like, what's the first comic that's like, nope, that was a cool one.
Are you talking about storyline or actual?
No, just a comic, like one you might have grabbed when you were a kid and you're like, that was awesome.
Teenage Mutant,
or even older. You don't have to be a kid because sometimes you read them, but it's like recently you read one, you're like, dude, that was the best comic.
So the first one I ever grabbed was one that was from 1977. Okay. And I think at the time I was like 12, 13. And this is, I didn't really quite understand what I was holding at the time, but, Fantastic Four, never was really interested in them.
Yeah.
But it was actually Spider-Man versus the Vulture. And we're talking about the one where, he's not like mechanized. Like I loved Kevin Costner's portrayal of Vulture.
Yeah, Mr. Toon.
Altoon.
Altoon, yeah.
And so this was the old dude with like the fluffy, looking like a fluffy. And he's sitting there with the like pinstripe suit and everything flying around. That was actually the first ever comic book I ever bought.
Really? So I can't remember the first, man. I've bought so many freaking comics. I remember early on, though, it really was kind of my favorite comic. I know I told you X-Men was one of the big ones. I have some old Uncanny X-Men comics.
He showed me the swimsuit edition.
Oh, yeah. I had the first ever swimsuit edition. I was 14, 13 when that came out. My parents were like, I don't know about this. I was like, come on, it's a comic book. and all the pages are now stuck together. It's still the best comic. No,
when you can actually read some of it.
Yes. So I would say one of the best comics I got when I was a kid that really was like was a hit later in life that I didn't realize was. I was watching the Venoms, and then I remember it like yesterday. I walked in the comic book store and I'm like, "Hey, is there any new like Venoms that came out?" Because back then we didn't have the cool internet or updates where people telling you what comic was coming out. I just kind of you had a little. If you bought a comic, it would have like dates in it, and it would have like when you can get the service. I had no clue, dude. I was like 12 years old, 10, 12, 13 years old.
And there wasn't really any comic book shops around.
There wasn't many. I was near a military base, and there was one there, and that was the only one I knew. Now you said that. And it was in Savannah. We were not. So it was at a Savannah location. I don't think get places there anymore. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, I walked in there. I said, "Do they have any new Venoms?" He's like, "No." He said, "We did get this new one that just came out, and it's got a new Venom character." And I was like, "Oh yeah, what's
Carnage?"
And it was Carnage.
Oh yeah.
So it was the first ever edition of Carnage.
Dude.
And it's the one where Carnage has got Spider-Man and he's holding him up, and the rocks are behind him. So I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll get it." And then now that ended up being a more sought after comic. And people are looking for that comic everywhere.
Dude.
And at the time, it was nothing. It was just a brand new character, and I've always kept really care about my comics. This is the way I was as a kid, even. So I kept it. I even mount it now on the wall where I have I keep it, look at it every day. But that one was a cool one. I actually did read it though when I was a kid. It was much darker than the serial killer.
Well, I was going to say, and that was the other thing too, is why we like the Absolute and everything is it's so gritty. And, when we were growing up, a lot of times I remember the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie got a lot of flack because they were using their weapons. And they're like, no, the portrayal, kids will start trying to do that shit. And it's like, no, dude, we learned everything we know now from cartoons in the 80s.
Right? So, Wile E. Coyote, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Blowing shit up. That's what he did.
Yeah, don't do that.
No. So that was probably my first ever real comic I read and was like, oh, this is really cool. But I would say one more I gotta name drop it was that one You Let Me Borrow. It was probably one of my favorite all-time comics, and it did not get the best reviews, believe it or not. Was that one where the Punisher's in Vietnam?
Punisher Origins.
Yes, that was great, man. I enjoyed that a lot. It's so messed up, and it's you got like that war kind of stuff anyways. Vietnam, it's obviously one of the more interesting wars for when I was a kid growing up. My dad was drafted for Vietnam. So I guess there's more interest behind that for me growing up. But reading that one, I was like, this is freaking cool, man. That's a great comic. But yeah.
And also, I mean, the tie into that is we actually had a very cool buddy that we worked with who was a veteran of Vietnam, and he would tell us some stories. We're like, oh shit, some of the stuff that he did or had to do. Yeah. And, some of the cool things, or not really cool things for some people, but like the part where he, the lieutenant was about to report him and his group, his squad. And, he was like, if you really want to see what's going on, just look over that corner over there, and dude goes in and gets caught with a sniper, and he pans out in the panel, and you see a sign that says, "What? Don't look caution! Don't look over the hill. Sniper active." So
that was Frank. I was like, Jesus, dude, that was dark as hell. But I don't know. It's just one of those books that I read. I was like, that was pretty sweet. But like I said, I really read reviews on it. It was. There's even comics like that you enjoy, people don't enjoy as much as you did, and that was a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually look around for that, see if anyone else wants to look at that as well. So, I really wish I would have had time to bring up some like little pieces and stuff to where I could just click on it and pop up on the side again, so people could actually see what we're talking about. But with some of the storylines that we're about to discuss. You're going to know what they are. So, I mean, they're going to be more. I mean, you do have some of the one that is a little less popular that you were going to discuss. Mine are pretty damn popular. So, if you want, you can kick off, or I can kick off. However you want to do it.
You go first.
All right. Well, I mean, the first one I could actually say that storylines that I absolutely loved. And we're going, 2, 3? What are we going?
Whatever you would do. I mean, I wasn't fully prepared for that one, but
we'll go 2.
Let's go 2.
Let's go 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one is actually the one that actually brought it up for me. And this is what got me into how much I spend way too much money doing this. The actual original Civil War.
Okay.
Is the first ever graphic novel that I bought. And, from start to get this, I was kind of a little bummed that the X-Men did not participate in this, or there was no Hulk. It was basically just Captain America being a rebel against Iron Man and, the Registration Act and everything like that, after an unfortunate accident happened when Nitro was accosted. I guess I can use that word, by the New Warriors. And he proceeded to explode right next to an elementary school. So it was a lot darker. And, a lot of people don't know that are more fans of the Marvel Cinema Universe, because they didn't show that. Instead, you got them blowing up basically an assembly outside of an embassy.
Right.
So, they were like, no, we're not doing that.
Right.
I think it took a little bit away from it, the gravity of the situation. But if you actually read it from start to finish, it's action all the way through.
Right.
And, it's one of the first times I actually saw a comic book hero died. And when I say that, I'm talking about Titan, who gets his chest blown out by not Thor, but a clone of Thor.
Was it Titan or Goliath?
It might have been Goliath.
Goliath, yeah.
Because he was grown all up, and they had to buy additional plots to bury him.
Yeah. Blasted right through his chest. Like,
yeah, exactly. So not only that, they were moving him with a crane.
Yeah,
because he was like 6-7 stories tall when this happened. So, but it was like one of those, it literally made me like, holy shit, they actually killed off a comic book hero. And normally, yes, comic book heroes do come back, but I don't think he came back.
I can't think of another Goliath after that, to the truth. So you're right, yeah.
Yeah, so
keep that one buried.
Yeah. So I literally. But yeah, no, and of course the ending and everything where you see Captain America, he's fighting Iron Man, and I think it was Brooklyn, New York City at least, and he's looking around, and he's starting to win.
Right.
Like finally they're starting to win. They're beating the oppressors, I guess is a good way to put it. And, all of a sudden, all the civilians come up and they're grabbing him like, please stop, and he looks around and he realizes how much damage he's doing and how people are getting hurt and stuff like that. So that's when he laid down and basically was like, you know what, we're done. We're not going to do this anymore.
Right.
And, Spider-Man, of course, got pretty messed up at one point because of the Registration Act, because he originally sided with Iron Man, and then everyone knew who he was. So his family, which tied into a later storyline, which I believe was The Day After Tomorrow or something like that.
Okay.
It was where kind of touched up on the last Spider-Man movie where everyone kind of forgot who he is.
Okay.
So it tied into that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So
I guess I didn't pay that much attention to that. I just figured it was part of a new story arc that I never read.
No, it's one if people, if you want, comment on it, please let me know what storyline that was, because I do want to read that one. And of course, it went to Captain America getting killed.
Yeah.
So
okay.
by Crossbones, I believe.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, it was Crossbones.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now, all right. So for me, I would say a great one was the Infinity Gauntlet. That was another one that was like that. It was one of those ones, and the reason why I got that when I was a kid too. So, I had, I was little, I was reading about it, and that was the first time I actually read that whole story arc. It was him courting death, which I felt like that should have been in the movie as well. Like death was never in that. And there's a big part of that in that story, like he's courting death and she's all excited. And he's like, I'm going to bring you all these souls. And there's back and forth. But that was the first comic I saw where everyone is like dying. It's like one snap, everyone's dead. And I was like, what the hell? Like, how do you fix a comic when you destroyed everybody? And back then we didn't have the multiverses and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, it's dead. So
it was one universe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we didn't know that though. We're like, it's just one story arc. That's it. Yeah. There's not all these other ones that you can run off of. That came later on, but just the artwork of that comic was amazing, man. The one where he's holding his fist up, he's got the gems all on it. That's the first edition or the first issue, and then the whole sequence. And there's some characters that like I never heard of, like was like Warlock's in there. Warlock, and that was that issue was it lost a lot in the movie that they should have added to it. I know a lot of times they're like, well, they're just squeezing on the action pack, but the action kind of loses on the story side of it. But that was definitely one of my favorite comics growing up. And
that is a good one.
Yeah. So.
That is also one that definitely got cleaned up a little bit by Disney and, you know, Marvel, because Thanos was killing them in that one.
Yeah.
Like you. Yeah. So, I mean,
yeah, they killed. You can't
very gruesomely.
Yeah. A white universe.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, okay, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Let's add some gas back in there.
Yeah, exactly. One of the deaths I remember completely was that Cyclops was putting it on him for a second, and then all of a sudden he just imagined an airtight glass box around his head and suffocated him. So it was like, oh my, you know.
Yes. I got to reread that one. I'm sure I lost of it, but I just remember that part of the world getting destroyed, and that was like a complete shock. That was just something that stuck with me since the 90s on. It was kind of like, damn, that happens. Now we've seen it before in other comics and stuff like that, but back then that was the first time I saw anything that scale. You know, I was like, this is crazy. But I'm going to start the next one. I got one more for you.
Well, I could probably go in a second. I'm pulling up a picture. Yeah, I'm trying to do the people right.
Yeah, get an idea what to look at.
Yeah,
I like it.
So just give me a second.
I mean, when we're watching your screen and watching your motion, it looks
so it's actually pulling it up.
Well, I see the list of comic books there I'm looking at, but I see your face moving in a crazy manner because you still have that ridiculous lag.
Yeah,
going on.
Exactly. You know,
you're talking and laughing.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely going to be looking at our technology a little bit later.
Right.
Let me see.
Are you still looking?
I think I might have it.
Oh, I might have it too.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. There's sweat on my brow from its work. Oh, yeah, much better. I'm going to just toast it right off.
So my second one.
I'm sorry, let me put this away. Yeah, don't want to cut anybody.
Whoa, calm down now. Is that your lightsaber, or are you just happy to see me?
All right, put that away. All right, sorry.
It does look cooler on the video. World War Hulk.
Yeah.
Is probably one of I would say it's probably my favorite one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And, you know, basically everyone that has not read that, just go read it.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, go ahead and get Planet Hulk.
Yes,
before that.
absolutely.
So you could read up to the thing to it. Without really busting out too much of what happens, because I'm going to ruin a little bit.
Right.
Basically, Hulk's started a family in a planet far, far away. And all of a sudden his ship that he arrived in blew up.
Yep.
And, you know, of course, there was a video that was played when he was going to this planet that originally he wasn't supposed to go to, but it got knocked off course.
Right.
And it was the Illuminati, which I think is kind of funny that they called it that. And
shit.
Everyone else, see you burning his floor down there.
That's what you never drop your lightsaber. All right, now I know.
Don't make it go straight like
in
Rick and Morty.
I didn't make it past Jedi school.
That's why he became a Sith.
That's like it. I like it.
So
it wasn't good enough for Jedi. I had to go Sith.
Exactly. But you know, Reed Richards, Professor X, Black Bolt, Iron Man, and there was one more. I got the main four.
Was it Iron Man? Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange.
I think
it was Doctor Strange because he ends up fighting him fist to fist on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Breaks his hands. But anyway,
I forgot about that.
They send a video and they're like, "Yeah, we decided to send you because you're just too much of a risk."
Yeah, if you're a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you motherfucker.
There's not a Ritalin on this planet for you.
We're gonna send you to a uninhabited planet where there's plenty of food to eat, and you're it.
That's it.
You're it.
Yeah. we put some comics in your ship on your way out to get some to read.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, it was messed up. I was like, that's kind of effed up.
Yeah, quite a bit effed up.
Yeah.
But so he crash lands on a planet he wasn't supposed to go to. Ends up going on a war. Ends up ruling the planet.
Yep.
Ship blows up. He comes back to Earth and just before he gets to Earth, stops off at the moon. And one of my favorite parts of the comic is when one person is sitting there and Black Bolt's there and one of his friends. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the name right now, but she basically was like
Medusa.
It might have been Medusa.
With the hair and the moves.
the face with the snakes.
Yeah.
But she basically says, my king can kill you with just a whisper type deal.
Yep.
And, it starts off and he was like, well, I didn't come here to hear you whisper. I came to hear you scream. And it shows him jumping up and someone actually brought it up and I didn't know this, but when Black Bolt actually screams yells at him, it breaks all the bones inside the Hulk.
Yep.
And because of his rage, just building from all that pain, he's able to whoop Black Bolt's ass.
Right.
And he literally is holding him up and he's like, hey, this is the only guy that was able to beat me out of all of y'all. Mm-hmm. And I'm coming to clap y'all's cheeks too.
Right.
So, of course, he goes down there with his war bond and they just wreak havoc, end up capturing all the Illuminati, making them fight in the Coliseum.
Right.
And then, of course, there was the fight with Sentry, who somehow a lot of people say he beat him, but I don't really think he really truly. I saw it more of his draw.
Yeah.
And just overall, one of the things, I wasn't a huge Hulk fan, but this made me a bigger Hulk fan.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, okay, this dude's the badass.
Yeah. No, that's the pure rage of Hulk kind of comic. That's why, But great one, man. I enjoyed that comic as well. I want to say I read that kind of the late side because I was like, I saw it. I don't know, it just didn't draw me in. So I highly recommend go read that one because when I read it, I was like, oh man, that was definitely a gem worth getting your hands on, But the next one was a favorite of mine, and basically we can relate somewhat. But the reviews again on that one wasn't really stoking. There was a lot of people that were like, "Oh, this one's it's good, but this and that." And I agree. There's some parts of it that's kind of like I guess a little repetitive, a little bit but it was definitely Old Man Logan was a good one, but Old Man Quill was a great one as well. So Old Man Logan, good comic. Old Man Quill, just a different part, same time frame though. So on the other side of the U.S. There's Logan chilling out doing his thing, and then you got Quill walking around doing the same thing. So Quill, in that comic, he's king of a planet, and of course the cultists are a problem still. So he ends up going to fight the cultists. He's like, I want to take the fight to them. They're not coming to me. So he basically gets his whole armada built up, goes to the cultists, whips their ass. He's like, yeah, we did it. We wiped them out. They're like, you think this is the army? He goes, no. We sent the army to your planet already. So now he's like, holy shit, I just wiped them out, but there's more. So he goes back to his planet. Everyone's dead. Cultists have destroyed it. There's a giant in the middle of his planet is the giant symbol carved out by some huge ship of the cultist symbol, kind of like an auk, the way it kind of looks. But I mean, it's literally carved in the planet. They can see it from space.
That's crazy.
So everyone's dead. He's lost his family, and he just goes into this whole like sadness. He just drowns everything into drinking. He doesn't care anymore. He's ready to just die, And he wasn't like that, of course, before, But after this, he's just like he's giving up on life. He just wants to die. And then some people come to ask him for help, and it's gonna probably be some bits and pieces because I just read it not too long ago, but still. But basically, he goes to help this planet. As he's going there, he's talking to his team. And as this goes on, you're reading, you're kind of like, man, they're old too. It's kind of cool to see all them old Drax and stuff like that. But it's just some weird stuff going on. And then you start catching on to some of the fight scenes, and I don't know, you have to watch very carefully because it's going to be something that you're not going to really 100% notice until midway through. You're like, damn it, did not know this. But basically, Mr. Quill there is losing his mind. and all his friends are dead, but he can still see them. He's still talking to them, but only he can. No one else is. So he's like, if he's talking to his friends in front of other people, they're like, "Who the hell is he talking to?" When he's fighting, and they're doing all the fight moves that they always do. It's actually him doing the fight moves, but he's seeing it as them doing the fight moves. So he's losing his mind. He's helping these people out. He's ending up being this kind of this Wild West style hero, and everybody's loving it. And he's bringing order kind of to areas that he's not even trying. He's just trying to get through it. And as he's going, it's just the way he is. He just can't stop himself from being that hero. And but it was pretty cool. There's some Wild Western style guns he gets from somebody at a bar, and towards it, and that there's a good fight scene between him and Galactus, and that part. I don't want to ruin the whole book, but there's even a little Galactus action in there in that time frame. I definitely recommend reading the book, man. And finish it up, get the whole story.
And the reason why he's saying that is because he knows I've read up all the way to the first half, and I've been trying to get a second volume because it's one of those where I bought the graphic novel of it, and it is a good read. I will say that it is a very good read, and there is some foreshadowing if you really pay attention to what is really going on and everything. And there's some parts where it kind of foreshadows the fact that his team is gone. Yeah. And, of course, they haven't dropped that bomb. But I actually asked Gooze, when I was reading it, I was like, dude, I just need to ask you. I have an idea what's going on. Yeah. And you didn't outright tell me, but you kind of told me at the same time.
What caught on for me was I knew it was kind of weird, some of the parts. And then there's a part in the book where he's walking and there's cameras recording.
And it's just him.
And it's just him. Yeah. And I was like, hold on. I was like, well, they don't want to draw anybody else. And there's like 5 different angles of where he's walking through the cultist ship. And then every angle, it was only him. And I was like, hold on. Are they ghosts? I thought like, there gotta be something weird going on. Then I started reading and I was like, I knew it.
Well, there's even like one of the fight scenes, and it shows like, him and everyone else fighting and everything like that, like you said. Yeah. And you've all of a sudden get the point of view of someone that's watching it. Yeah. And there's like sitting there watching them fight, and it's just him jumping backwards. Yeah. And you're like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. So, I mean, really cool. Great story so far. Like I said, I'm going to finish it off, even though I know what happens. But I mean, definitely one of those things that I'm going to be reading up on.
Yeah, for sure. They need to bring some more. If Marvel wants to make some serious dough, they need to develop the Old Man Logan world.
Yes, they do.
Put some more old something in there, or somebody who's new that's from the family of the old. Put that world.
Go to the retirement home and pull some of these old people out.
I'm telling you now, you're going to make some money, because Logan was amazing. Hawkeye was even good in that, even though he was blind. Still was cool to just kind of read that. The Hulk was good in it, being just vicious, like Kingpin kind of thing, and his story arc is messed up with the way his whole life was. And then you throw in some Old Man Quill, there's some Doctor Doom in there, there's some Galactus in there now, there's what else? Kingpin, I think, is dead, like someone's killed the Kingpin. I can't remember exactly who it is, but
so Kingpin was originally killed Magneto, who was the king of Las Vegas in that realm. And then Spider Girl, who was actually Hawk Girl, or actually Spider Bitch. Spider Bitch. Yep. She ends up killing Kingpin to overthrow him, and now she is basically the queen, and she's evil. Right. And cool twist on that is it's actually Hawkeye's daughter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah.
Oh, dude. That's what we're talking about, dude. Yeah. That's the absolute world of Marvel right there. Bring that shit. That's awesome. Bring the geriatric Marvel X-Men team. Naps at 12, battles afterwards. But no, it was that story, because as I'm reading that Old Man Quill, I am thinking about the same world that Logan's in. So I'm like putting the pieces together in my head. I felt like there's a lot of pieces there missing that we could slap in that and then make a whole, like, okay, now Logan's doing this in this world, and Quill's doing that here, and you can be like, not the Hulk, but let's say Red Hulk. I don't know. He's over here in Canada doing his thing or whatever. Just kind of show this apocalyptic, kind of like a Fallout Marvel. You know, like that's what we need.
And
I like that.
And not only that, I mean, you look at I actually found the dude's website.
Who's that? Okay.
Christian Hera.
Oh, Hera. That's what I know. An agent. It's like, dude.
Yeah. And we're going to talk a little bit about this one particular comic. It is a indie comic. This is by Cool Ranch Comics out of Atlanta. And this dude, Christian Hera, I met him in person. He actually signed my copy. I bought it for a whopping $25.
Okay.
But it's all good because we are all for indie comics and supporting young and up and coming artists and stuff like that. So Sidekick for Hire is definitely one of those comic books that, if you ever want to read it, trust me, it's a good read. It has a lot of kick-ass vibes to it. We both read it. Gooze first. You read it last. Go ahead and tell me what you thought about it.
No, I thought it was good. I like the whole psychic idea. It's this guy who doesn't really have any like powers, but he's helping heroes fight. He's exactly he's like a mercenary. He goes online, his sidekicks kind of thing, and look, there's a job opening. Let me go
Craigslist.
Yeah, you got it. But he's like doing stuff that's like ultra dangerous. It's like guys with guns shooting at them, and he's helping them out. But I mean, all he's wearing is his costume. He's good at fighting in general, like a fist fight, like straight up. Like he'd be a great, like bouncer.
Yeah,
at a nightclub kind of thing. But
probably make more money.
You may get shot at last too, less. So yeah, no, I like it a lot. I thought it was kind of a good idea, something a little bit new. Everybody's always writing about the heroes and being awesome already, and just being these tanks. And you got these guys kind of like I'm in college doing my thing in school.
It's about Robin, not Batman.
yeah. It's a pre-Robin, not quite Robin.
No, not badass Robin, kind of like Robin.
Tryouts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, he ends up being good. He ends up, helping the guys out when they need his help the majority of the time. But the dude has the worst luck known to man. I mean, he's had a lot of issues going through. I don't want to read the comics. We're gonna like bounce around here, but he's got some pretty rough issue or problems or luck wise. And overall, I like the comic. I felt like I feel like it needs to be a little bit more. In my mind, I felt like it should be affecting him a little bit more, like mentally. Like I see it, and he's good at what he does. But if it was me,
it would devastate me.
It would after a while, like especially if it's happened multiple times where some serious issues went down. I would be a little more jumpier, and I would be strapped with a gun. I don't care how good I block and fight. An issue when it comes down to Pound Town, I'm pulling out the old 9 if I have to, what I'm saying? Because the 9 is going to be the strongest punch I got,
Which is crazy because, at one point there is a running joke between him and one of the people that actually know what he does on the side.
Right.
And we both kind of got a little bit of a kick out of it. And like, dude, this is the 3rd time this month or something like that. Yeah. And without saying too much, but, it was kind of like, right. And like you said, you would think that would kind of like play a little bit more psychological.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I felt like, because, you can do it, you're good at it, but this has happened before. Yeah. And if it's happened a few times, I'm going to be a little more jumpier. I'm going to be a little bit more.
And I probably wouldn't hire your ass.
Yeah, absolutely would not hire your ass. I'd be like, no, you had 3 jobs in a week?
Yeah.
I'll go somewhere else. I'll go to McDonald's and find someone.
You go flip some fries.
Yeah, exactly. Punch those burgers. But what I feel like the story should kind of go towards, and this is if I was writing the story myself, so it's strictly my opinion. But I'd like to see it get a little bit more darker on his side. I know they're all about, you can't do this because you're a hero kind of thing, but I almost feel like it should be more almost like kick-assy to the part of that girl's dad. Remember how he gets like where it's like almost like Punisher, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if you had that happen enough and people are shooting at you, you're not coming back with just your pajamas on. You're going to go buy a bulletproof vest or something, carry a gun. And I can see it kind of leaning that way already a little bit. Like I don't know, there's something that gives me the vibe of
I'm not the one wearing hockey pads.
Yeah, right. I feel like it is kind of going that direction a little bit where it's like, I'm going to have to carry a little something extra just in case, but I would like to see it kind of going more on the dark side. Maybe the hero could bring it
Make
back.
It grittier.
Yeah, exactly. A little more little more nasty. You know?
Yeah, I'm coming with my baseball bat.
Yeah, you got
I've got some brass knuckles.
Yeah, exactly.
Something where you can actually protect yourself.
Yep.
And of course, the dude he has like jujitsu moves and stuff like that. Yeah. He is a gymnast in the comic book. If you read up into like the stuff of it, but this is only his second comic book that Christian Hara has released.
Right, I got you. Okay.
And they got another one coming out that is on Kickstarter, I believe, and I think they were Myths is what it's called.
Okay.
And it looks promising. It looks like it's really good. The guy that I met, really cool dude. He's only 24.
Okay.
So he's new to the game and everything like that, and
he's grinding. I like
he is, and you don't normally see that.
Right. I mean, the story's still fresh too, man. I mean, I'm throwing out my own opinions, but he may be like, I already know that. This is exactly where I'm going with it, or he may have a better idea than what I'm even thinking. I guess this is what I'm just read into it, but the potential's there, man. I like it. I like the way that it's not just like Superman coming through and just, like I said, destroying everything. It's just a natural dude. There's a guy come out there and these exist in this world with his heroes. But even the heroes are really like, not all of them. Some have some good stuff. Some have gadgets. That's what makes them good. And some of them, they're just beasts. They're just badass. They're just good fighters in general. And he may adapt into something like that over time. But overall, yeah, I think it's a good book. I think it's got potential.
How many capes out of 5 would you give it? I know, put you on the spot.
Yeah, right. I wasn't thinking about that. I would say probably 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see 3. I'll actually go up to 3.5, possibly 4. So we'll say just 3.5.
Right.
Just go right in the middle. Really good story overall. I think that this has a lot of potential to go into other venues, like you said. Maybe go your one way, but what if? There it is. Right. The what if universe. What if he actually went the other way and became a bad guy from all the psychological stuff that happened?
That would, sidekick the villain.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
That, actually, that'd be kind of cool. Where he was trying so hard to be good, and he ended up turning bad. I think there's a snippet in the book though that does show kind of like older, still kind of a hero kind of thing, right? So maybe it could be a dream of his or something. And changing, but I don't know if that's a totally bad guy, but I feel like right now it's very the usual. Where it's like. Villains are villains. They have no rules. They can do whatever they want. And the heroes have to still follow some kind of rule. And I feel like that's where you should be like, I'm psychologically effed up and I don't follow rules no more. Yeah. I tried to do the right thing and grab you and handcuff you, but then you're putting bullets in people I know and stuff like that. And that's just not going to be no more.
Go into more like a vigilante.
Right. Where he's fighting normal. And then the guys pull a gun out and he's like, you know what? I brought him to you. So I think it'd be kind of cool to see that because the people would be like, oh, you're a hero because they already like that. The villains know that the story. They're like, oh, you can't do that. So it'd be cool to see him go like, yeah, that was old. Times.
And like his outfit starts to like modify with what it is.
Represent that.
Like how it is right now, kind of a cornballish type outfit and everything like that. Very cheap.
He's got money. He's a kid.
He's broke. We people that went to college or trade school, they know how this feels.
Yeah.
But like later on, like Vigilante and Peacemaker, where he has the whole like I'm going to kick your ass type of look.
One way or another, you're coming with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like RoboCop. Yeah. One way or another, you're coming with
me. But that's a good way to wrap it up. Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you if you watched the whole video.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. That right there.
Yeah.
Right in front of you.
Oh yeah, that right there. Yeah, we do have a sponsor, by the way, and I will be making a sponsor video for this eventually. But we are partnered up with Dubby Energy Drinks. Basically, what's going on with them is it's powder drink that you could actually mix at your house instead of spending $4 or $5 over at say Circle K or something like that for a Red Bull or a Monster. You can get one of these and fill it up. They say recommend 12 to 14. I'm a little bit more cheaper than that, so I fill up this whole damn bottle of water and mix it in, and it still tastes really good.
I tried it. It was good actually.
This particular flavor is called Mystery Flavor.
Gotcha.
And I had some tiger blood and some cherry limeade already too. So eventually I am building up an actual repertoire of Dubby drink tastings to where I can actually give you an honest take.
Okay.
But you can support the show if possible. 10% off on your order. Just go to Dubby.com, hit the promo NC1.
NC1.
Nercadia 1.
Nice.
So
NC1.
very short, simple. There's one guy I saw that was like, if you type in retro video gaming comment or for the best or something like that, I was like, dude, I'm not typing that in. I got carpal tunnel from hearing that. So
10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. But this flavor, it tastes kind of like a cherryish flavor with a little bit mixture of dragon fruit. It is 100% organic. Okay. So it's not bad for you. There's no sugar in it. Jitterless. It's made from the fruit on the outside of the coffee bean, kind of like I think it's Bao that does that.
Okay.
But that too is also $3-4 a bottle. So, and each one of these tubs, it looks expensive. It's like $39.99. But if you look at the price and how much you get, it basically knocks it down to like $1 a drink.
Gotcha. Okay.
So with the way that the economy is with $4 gas and $5 energy drinks, try them out. No, the shit's good.
Yeah, so, I agree. I agree. Take a little sip there, try it out. Good flavor. I did feel a little bit of a spark too. It didn't last me long. I took only a couple swigs. But when I did take it, I was kind of like, ooh, it kind of got my eyes opened up from what I feel like right now. But no, it was good. And then you did overfill the hell out of that, you told me.
Yes,
and I
did.
Could not tell, man. I thought it was the way it was supposed to be.
You know? No, it's good.
Little neo action in there that tasted like, like, okay, hey, I can drink that shit all day long.
Yeah.
You know, big bottle like that. So,
hell yeah. And like I said, I mean, it's very good and not bad for you. It's the advertisement, Jitterless Energy.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah, you ain't sitting there like.
Oh, dude, when you get older, I'm telling you now, those things just don't.
I drink one of these in the morning before I go to work.
I'm saying jitters for me, like I don't drink energy drinks no more because jitters wreck me so hard now. When I was a kid, I could do what Jaeger bombs all night long and come home and suck down a couple Red Bulls and be like no problem. Now if I drink like a Monster energy drink, I'm literally gonna rip my face off.
Goose, we did Jaeger bombs in our 30s.
That's a long time ago. You do remember how old we were, right?
This was before kids, Ned.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was still a long time ago. For sure. No, but it was awesome, man. It was good talking to you as always. And finally, we got to do some more of these. I mean, we had probably a better setup when we first were thinking about this about a week ago. And it's been a minute since I last was kind of like focused. And today's not my strong point, but I refused to tell you not to come. That wasn't feeling great. I was like, F that noise. It's been a month.
You need to come over.
Must do it.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to feel like my mom. This is the longest goodbye ever. We do have an outro if y'all want to watch it. And please, by all means, if you want to support us, once again, go to Dubby Energy Drinks. Check us out, NC1. You get 10% off your order. And then when they send you, they'll send you like something like this, where you'll get some free stuff as well. So please, by all means, help us out. And anything else, brother?
That's it. Deuces.
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 And